Hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. How are you doing today? It is Larissa. I'm here for our weekly Lunch and Learn, where every single week I explore topics to help you elevate your mindset and be at your best and radically expand your life and your business. Today, I am talking about being the number one person in your own life. So, if you're feeling a bit stretched, maybe you're pulled in many different directions, you're saying yes whenever someone is asking you for something, and you're just like, I don't have any time for me. Like I know I need to do self-care. I just can't find the time. I am not replenishing myself. You'd like to see yourself at the top of your list, maybe be the star of your own show, and you're having a little trouble. This is for you. So I want to know where you're coming in from. And if you're tuning in by replay, type in replay in the chat. Okay, we want to welcome you and we want you to get the absolute most out of this. So some of you know me, some of you don't. I'm Larissa McCook, CEO of Abundance Academy, and we help high achieving women who know that they're destined for more eliminate negative mental barriers and really bridge the gap from dreaming to actually doing so they have a life and business they want and truly, truly love. Now, when I was thinking about this theme of being the number one person in our life, all of the talks that we do, everything that we talk about comes from our clients. It comes from people in our community. It comes from people in our circle. Okay, we don't just randomly assign things. This is something, this is a theme that's been coming in our world. And especially as women, so many women have been putting everyone else first and putting themselves last. We're running a market research study and we're noticing this. And one of the things that I know that happens every single time, we have a program called Thinking into Results that we work with. And it's a program that my mentor, Bob Proctor, who just recently passed away, he designed with Sandy Gallagher. And it's a leadership program. It's phenomenal. I can't find my book right. Oh, yeah, here it is. This is my book. So this is my very well used book. And lesson 11 is about leadership. And the very first thing I ask whenever I teach that lesson is, who is the most important person in your life? And like clockwork, people that are new to the program will say, my husband, my wife, my kids, my cat, other people, and they will deflect it off themselves. People that have been in the program have shifted gears and they will say, I am. And I remember when I was in that situation, I thought it was everyone else that was most important. And I would put myself last because I thought it was selfish to put myself first. I didn't want to be that person that was making it all about me. Deep down, I wanted attention. Deep down, I wanted recognition. Deep down, I wanted things, but I didn't think I could actually have the confidence to go for it, especially without guilt. And so I used to deflect attention off of myself and put it onto others because I didn't feel deserving of it. And I would just work my fingers to the bone because that was the example that was set. And that's what I thought I had to do. When I had my baby, everything was about, if anyone's had a child, you have a baby, everything is about the baby. Let me know if you can relate. Pop that in the chat. Okay, you have a baby, your life radically transforms. And you realize life isn't about you first and foremost. It's all about the baby. When I was running a dance company, it was all about the members. It was all about the new people that we were bringing on board. It was all about keeping our artistic directors happy. When I was at work, it was all about the clients. It was all about the staff. It was all about my colleagues and coworkers. And it was everything about other people. And others would say, Larissa, take time for yourself. And I would keep brushing that off. I don't have time. I'll do that later. I'll do that later. Well, later didn't come. And I got to the point where I was so depleted that one day I actually had to go home and I barely made it home. I had to sleep the rest of the day because I was on the verge of passing out. I was so depleted that I didn't have anything left in me. And I suspect that in your own way, you've been that way too. You've been in a situation like that, that may be similar or your own variation of that. And if you have, I would love to know what that looked like for you. Now, I shifted things. I started to dramatically shift things and put myself back on my priority list. And I know that you can too. So I want you to ask yourself, do you want to stop feeling guilty when people are asking for you for things and you actually say no? Would you like to actually say no, guilt-free? Would you like to say yes to yourself more often and start to see yourself shine brighter and brighter? And do you want to know right from the bottom of your heart that you are treating yourself well? You're showing up with kindness, you're showing up with respect, and you know you're doing the right thing first and foremost. It's in your guts, it's in your soul. And that is a really, really good feeling. Now, this whole putting others first is not something that's just come up recently. It's something that's been around since the dawn of man. Historically, there aren't clear-cut origins. However, I know specifically for women, it's escalated certainly since they began to enter the workforce and begin to work. They are still expected to be the mothers and to bring in income and to have this fulfilling career where they aspire to be more, do more, have more. And there is just more and more and more added to the plate. And one of the things that I've relatively recently come across is a wonderful assessment tool. It's called a ZTPI. You will not be tested on this. I just want to tell you, but this is something I've started using with many of my clients, especially my private clients. We're just integrating into our group programs, but it's very cool because it's a Stanford-based research study designed by Dr. Phil Zimbardo, who also used to be head of the American Psychological Association. He was responsible for the marshmallow study, if you're familiar with that. But he has this test that can assess your relationship to your past, your present, and your future. And when you have a good relationship with each of those areas, and it gives you some really specific guidance, it can help dictate your happiness and appreciation in life. And it also helps you know where your gaps are. Like intuitively, when I do this with clients, I read the results to them. They're like, yeah, I totally feel that way. This is, how long have you been like that? Pretty much my whole life, for many, many years. And they see it, they sense it, they feel it, and it gives them an empowering place to start to actually move forward. Now, when you do move forward, when you do put yourself at the top of your list, and that looks different for everyone, you become happier, you become healthier, you have better relationships, you like yourself better, you earn more money. I've had clients double their income in 5 weeks because they got happier. It wasn't just that they got to work, they got happier, they got more receptive. Boom, idea hit. Sure, I'll try it. And it was easy and it was fun. You will start to attract so much more of the good you desire because you are focused on it in a conducive and productive way. Now, it's filling your cup is a fundamental human need. You literally can't pour from an empty cup. And you need to replenish it if your cup is depleted. If you were on an airplane, and what's the first thing they say? They say, put your own oxygen mask on first, because you need oxygen to live. All living creatures need oxygen to live. And this is a fundamental human need. You can't actually serve others and bring your goodness to the world if you aren't around to do it, right? Go ahead, stop breathing for a day. See how long that will last. It's not a successful strategy. So you've got to keep replenishing yourself. And it's the same metaphor for other aspects of your life. It's for you paying attention to yourself and replenishing yourself in different ways. So how do you do that? Well, it doesn't have to be this big ordeal. You will have to invest in yourself, though. And legally and energetically, a good, solid investment takes time, money, and energy. Okay, time, money, and energy. And we do daily success habits to do this, in order to do this. So I have some daily success habits I practice. I create some for my clients. You need to look at the daily success habits that you need in order to fuel yourself forward. Treat yourself well. What are your eating habits? What are your sleeping habits? What are your movement habits? If you eat, sleep, and move, there's a great book. I have it somewhere next to me. Can't find it. Where is it? Oh, right here. I have a bunch of books right beside me. But this book by Tom Rapp, I love it. It's so simple. Eat, sleep, and move. If you literally do each of these things well or better than you are, that's one simple way of filling your cup. I love how he just buckets it into simple, easy strategies. You take pride in your appearance. Start saying nice things to yourself. Start feeling good about yourself when you look in the mirror. And these are ways that you will start to replenish yourself, replenish your vibe, replenish your energy. Start spending time with people that lift you up rather than deplete you. Start doing activities that lift you up rather than deplete you. And for many of us, it's simply not a habit. Okay, we've lived our life by default instead of design. And as soon as we get into the habit of putting ourselves first, as soon as we get into the habit of saying, I am number one on my list, everything will change. So when you have a baseline, when you have the right information, you can have the power to make a change. So this is what it's all about. I want you to make a decision, to make a committed decision that you're going to put yourself at the top of your list so you can feel better about yourself and so you can serve others even better. And I want you to make a simple decision right now, because insight without action is worthless. Intuitively, you know this stuff, but the more you get to know yourself, the more you get to know what your boundaries and standards are and uphold them, the more rich and rewarding your life is actually going to be. Okay. So I want you to make a commitment. I want you to make a committed decision that you're going to do something, one thing right now within the next 5 minutes that will fill your cup. Maybe that's going for a walk around the block. Maybe that's going for have a glass of water instead of a coffee right now. Maybe that is doing some breaths and moving your arms and just having a dance party at your desk, or turn some music on and go crazy, whatever that is for you. Perhaps that's calling someone and saying, I made this commitment to you and I've decided that I need to change my mind. It's not something I can do for you at this time, and actually say no to someone for something that they're asking you to do. Okay? Because it's not going to be fulfilling to you. Maybe it's calling a friend that you know energizes you and scheduling a date after work today. Whatever that is, take some kind of action to improve your health, to improve your wealth, to improve your happiness, to improve some aspect of your day that will lift you up, and do it right now. Because as soon as you do, everything's going to change. And you do one action now, then you do one action later, then you do one action later, and gradually get yourself in the habit of putting yourself first. So I want you to say yes to yourself. Let me know in the chat if you want to say yes to yourself, if you want to put yourself first, and what that would mean to you. Really think about, when I put myself first, what will that mean to me? What will that look like? What will that sound like? What will that feel like? Will I start being nicer to my family at the end of the day? Will I stop snapping at people? Will I feel more alive and invigorated and energized? Will I serve my clients better? Will I treat the people I work with better? What difference is that going to make for you? Will I become a magnet for money? What is it for you? Because it looks different for everyone. You've got to know what that is for you. You've got to get to know yourself better than anyone else. This is something that we really do and make a concerted effort to do, whether we're working one-on-one with a client or working in a group setting. The more you get to know yourself, the more you put yourself in the driver's seat of your own life. I've literally seen people that have hated themselves their entire life and finally said, wow, I like myself, and it's only been a couple weeks. I can't believe the difference this has made. I've had people that have been depleted and crying themselves to sleep completely shift things around and start doing things like going for walks and totally turn things around and have their spouse compliment them because they've got so much more energy throughout the day. Some of these things seem simple. They are powerful, powerful things when you apply the right tool and the right strategy at the right time for you. So if reviewing your daily success habits is something that you want to do, I'm happy to have a conversation with you. Just shoot me a DM in the chat. And to one other quick announcement, we also have a wonderful workshop happening tomorrow. It's a vision casting workshop. If you miss it, I'm sure we'll run it again at some point. We don't have any more scheduled, but this is an opportunity for you to put yourself first, for you to say, I'm going to spend a couple hours really looking at myself, looking at my life and what I want it to be, what I want it to stand for, and where I want to go with it, because this is absolute gold. When you become the number one person in your life, it's not a selfish thing, because you are actually going to be in a position to serve people so much better than you ever have before. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Join us for our vision casting workshop. Shoot me a direct message if you want to register. There is no registration page for that yet. And if you want to review your daily success habits, then reach out to me, book a call. I'm happy to have a discussion and see what makes sense for you. So you have a great day. Bye for now.